Hey, welcome back to the How to Podcast series. I hope you're doing well. I've been getting emails and I'm like, they're interesting. Some of these emails that are coming in because I'm a podcaster and I'm available online and I have a website, or my emails are out there. Somehow they've escaped my control and now I'm getting inundated by these really strange emails. I had somebody reach out to be on guest on this show, and basically their pitch was nothing to do with podcasting, which is a red flag. They don't even have a podcast, nothing to do with podcasting. They have this really great industrial insulation spray foam that I think you guys would love to hear about. So let's welcome them to the show. Here's Stu. No, right? No, I'm not bringing on somebody who does spray foam to talk about on a podcast about podcasting. I don't know. And then there's the emails where Stephanie apparently is the person that the emailer is trying to reach about being a guest on Stephanie's show, the How to Podcast series. I haven't met Stephanie yet. She hasn't come in today into the office. There is no office, by the way, and there's only me. So when you start with somebody else's name in the email, that's always a good trigger that makes me nervous that you really don't care, or you've never listened to the show, or I'm just part of your batch of emails for the day. And it's annoying. It's really annoying. So how do you deal with podcast spam emails? This is an episode that I'm bringing back from the past. Why? Because I like to recycle my stuff. I think this is good information. Was an unnumbered bonus episode from back in the day. And that means there's no number. Unnumbered means there's no number. So it doesn't add into my total library numerically of all the episodes of the How to Podcast series. And I just wanted to bring this back because it's good stuff and it's still relevant even today. And it still has value for you. And there's probably a big chance that most people who find this show today or more recently, you won't go back and listen to all of the episodes of the How to Podcast series. So no harm, no foul. Let's bring this forward. It's great content. I would love to share it with you. So here is the episode as is. A little bit of edits here and there because some of the stuff is not relevant anymore. Some of the websites that I talk about and some of these things I bring back from the past, they don't exist. So I do some trimming here and there to cut out the fat, but here's the episode as it was, and I'll join you at the end, and we'll just do a quick summary, and we'll recap together and head for the door. But thank you for being here. Here's a blast from the past, talking about spam emails and how we can deal with them as podcasters. I hope you enjoy. See you in a minute. I don't know about you, but one of the things I didn't really anticipate was the amount of spam email that come to me because I have a podcast. Now I have 8 podcasts, so multiply everything by 8. I'm getting one right now from Anthony. Hi, Anthony. Anthony calls me Amanda for some reason. I don't know why. Anthony obviously hasn't listened to my show because my name is Dave. I even host a Daily Dave episode. You ready? And I know Eric has experienced this as well, Eric and Donna. So thank you for highlighting this again. I thought, I'm just going to leave this alone because apparently this guy doesn't know me. Again, hi, welcome to the Amanda podcast. Apparently that's my name now, according to our good friends over Anthony. You know who you are. So anyways, Anthony emails me, Dave, the host of the How to Podcast series, and 7 other podcasts, all hosted by the same guy named Dave. Hi, my name is Dave, by the way. Hear my name? Dave, D-A-V-E, Dave. I'm a little bit perturbed. Good word? Perturbed at Anthony for calling me Amanda. I love Amandas. If your name is Amanda, you have an amazing name, but it's just not my name. Anyways, the email for me from our good friend Anthony is Amanda. And then he points out all the things that are wrong with my show, which is a great way to start an email. No leads, slow growth, low engagement, and a podcast you love, but you can't keep doing with ROI. This is the state that host podcasters are in. I think it's sad. Well, I think it's sad to email somebody and call them Amanda when their name is Dave. I continue. Now, if you find yourself here, just know there is hope. You can finally experience faster growth without the need for promoting on social media. Well, I agree with Anthony on that. Social media is terrible. Targeting high-profile guests or even depending on word of mouth. Well, the best way to grow your show is word of mouth, Anthony. I apologize, but you are what we call incorrect. Anyways, so here's how. And here's the solution for all the terrible things that I'm doing in my podcast, Anthony. First, package your show as something new and different to the listeners you want to reach. You're already promoting online. If you're not growing, it's not because of exposure. It's because you're not turning more strangers into listeners. This fixes that. Build a driven data content strategy. Most podcasters try to create demand. We capture demand. What to do? Pinpoint hot and trending topics within your industry and grow by tapping into the demand that's already there. 3, rank your show on page 1 of Apple and Spotify to increase your organic exposure on the platform where your listeners go to listen to podcasts. Now, listeners are looking for you and you, not you chasing them. Cool, right? Well, getting on page 1 of Apple and Spotify does very little for long-term growth. It's kind of like getting viral on social media. Whatever. It's a moment in time and it's not sustainable, Anthony. This is my opinion as Amanda, who you keep emailing and calling me Amanda. 4, get an absurd amount of exposure onto your podcast. This can be done through cross promotions or featuring as a guest on quality podcasts, whatever that means. You get exposure to thousands of new podcast listeners each and every month. After looking into, into what? After looking into what, Anthony? My bank account? My health records? Anthony, I don't know what you're talking about. After looking into, I think you forgot to fill in this part. I feel confident our work will work for you. Mind if I show you how? Ways to reply. Yes, Aunt. Apparently your name is Aunt. No. Yes, Aunt. Why not? Or, no, Aunt. Oh, now here we go. This is a great way to build, engagement. No, Aunt. I'm reading just the letter F. F off, you worthless piece of SH asterisk T. Well, that's interesting. Aunt, by the way, now we're best friends because we're using short forms. My name is Dave, and not Amanda, by the way, Aunt. Aunt, I don't talk like that on my show. So there's another reason why I'm not responding to your worthless email about my show. So Aunt, maybe edit yourself better and be more professional. I don't know. Just a thought. Anyways, Aunt continues and says, in brackets, don't worry, I can handle it. Well, Aunt, you're not getting a response through email from me. I'm going to use my podcast, which apparently you don't listen to, because again, my name's not Amanda. P.S. We recently helped Ben, the host of an unnamed podcast, I'm not going to say, go from 0 to 5,000 monthly downloads in 90 days using our new growth method. Anthony, well, Aunt, thank you for spamming me, and thank you for pulling my email address out of my information and sending me an unwanted emails. Again, as Amanda, aka Dave. So if you're getting these kind of emails, I'd love to hear your thoughts and maybe what you do with spam emails as a podcaster, because I think it's quite comical when a podcaster that podcasts about podcasting emails a fellow podcaster about podcasting. Anyways, I'm over it. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. Thanks, Eric, for the email. And keep podcasting. So there you go. A little blast from the past. I'm curious, what do you do about spam emails? How are you dealing with them? Are you just blocking them? Are you blocking and reporting them? Are you just whatever? How do you deal with these emails? I'd love to hear your thoughts. and how you approach this. Because however we can come to an agreement as podcasters, I think we could help everybody else who's going to have this problem at some time. So I'd love to hear for your thoughts over at howtopodcast.ca. Reach out, let me know, and share your best practice for spam emails. And if you are a spammer, please at least spend some time listening to the show before you reach out and send these weird pitches to people who don't exist about topics that will never be covered on a show, to podcasters who don't even have guests on their podcast. You can do better, people. And you kind of throw your hands up and go, well, we don't really monitor these emails. We just send them out. Exactly. Please, you're wasting our time by doing this. So keep that in mind. All right, everybody, let's try to do better. We can all do better. Podcasters, you can do better. PR agents and people who fishing for people. Yeah. Anyways, please do better. And if I get an email for Amanda or Stephanie or Ralph or whoever, I'm not even going to read that email, because my name is Dave. And every episode starts with, hello, hey, welcome to the How to Podcast series. My name is Dave. So if I don't even see Dave in the subject line or the first sentence, you're gone. Thanks for listening. So I get asked quite often, usually at the end of a podcast, like right now, Dave, how can we help you? Like, how can we, as a listener, support the show? Can we come rake your leaves? Can we cut the grass? Shovel the snow? Watch your dog? Help you move? What can we do? Clean your dishes? Oh, that'd be interesting. Well, if you can't do that because, you're in Poland, maybe you can help us by supporting us with our Buy Me a Coffee. It's right there on our website. And, it just will help us to, stay fueled, because, we drink a lot of coffee around here, and it helps the show. So if you want to help us, it's out of the goodness of your heart. I can tell you that listening to the podcast to this point, you've already helped us so much. But I do have people saying, Dave, I'd love to give back something small, even just to the show. Buy Me a Coffee link is on our website at howtopodcast.ca. And you can support the show that way. It would mean a lot to have you on our team supporting what we do here. If you find value in the show, then that's great. Share the show. Tell somebody about it. And when somebody says, Dave, I want to start a podcast, who should I check out? Oh, you should go check out the How to Podcast series, because of all the great co-hosts and all the things that happen here, the meetups, everything. And I would appreciate that. And then fill our cup once in a while, if you can. But again, thank you so much for being here and supporting the How to Podcast series. Take care. Talk soon. You're still here. Awesome. Okay, so for my Buy Me a Coffee, you just heard a little promo for my Buy Me a Coffee, and thank you for sticking around to the very, 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 very end. One thing you can do is you can set up your Buy Me a Coffee like a Patreon, where you can have monthly regular donations from your community to your podcast. So it's not just a one and done, like traditionally you would think of a Buy Me a Coffee, and a lot of people don't talk about this, and it's unfortunate. You can set it up. I went through and set up 3 levels, a bronze, silver, and gold level, because it's whatever I could think of in the moment. And I set up 3 different tiers. I think at this point I have $5, $15, and $30. I just randomly chose those numbers, by the way. And I finished it, set it all up, made everything live, walked away from my computer, and about 5-10 minutes later, wham, I had my very first member join at the $5 level and signed up for a monthly contribution to the show at $5. I'm like, hang on. So it worked that quickly. Now, this is my first, I hope for many, many more. But if you're curious, you can actually set up your Buy Me a Coffee, which is free to set up, by the way. Set up your Buy Me a Coffee just like a Patreon, without being Patreon. And people not know how to pronounce Patreon and patrons and all that stuff. Buy Me a Coffee. right? It gives you the ability to do one-time single payments. There's a store option where you can sell your own merch, your own products and services, a downloadable, a course. There's a lot of different options on Buy Me a Coffee. So you can tell I'm kind of a fan. I'm fanboying right now. Go over and check out my Buy Me a Coffee page. There's a link in the show notes. Even if you're not able to sponsor or help the show through Buy Me a Coffee, fine, that's not a problem. Just go look how it's set up. And if you want to set up your own Buy Me a Coffee and you need help, reach out to me. I'm happy to do that with you. And I don't charge for that, by the way. I like helping podcasters. It's what I do, and I love doing it. And I wish I could do it every day, but I have this thing called a job. Yeah, if you need help with your Buy Me Coffee, let me know. I'd love to be part of your solution to get you set up. And I personally believe and practices that every podcaster should set this up and have a way for their audience to say thank you. So if you're a new podcaster and you haven't done this yet, and you're like, I have no idea what you're talking about, howtopodcast.ca. And if you're an old podcaster like me and you still haven't done it, get to it. You need to set this up. Let me know. And I'd love to be part of it. And on top of that, every podcaster I help set up their Buy Me a Coffee, I like to be your first donation because I want you to see that email come through going, you got a donation. You got a sponsorship. I know we're not supposed to say donation. Ralph is yelling at me right now. Sorry, Ralph. Yeah, you got sponsored. You have help from your audience through Buy Me a Coffee. Somebody bought you a coffee. So let me be that one for you. And I want to encourage you. So thanks for listening. Take care. We'll talk soon and see you tomorrow. Bye.